Simon, what's the feeling actually going ahead and playing a game of footy this weekend?
Yeah, I think when we arrived this morning, there was probably a genuine excitement. There's no doubt it's unprecedented time, and yesterday was a pretty long day for the footy industry. But when they got the news that they were going to do something that they loved, that at some stage we all know will probably be taken away from us. There was a genuine level of excitement walking into the club this morning.
Any reservations with the playing group about going ahead and playing?
Yeah, look, I can only speak for myself. Obviously, I don't have to get out there and play, but we're really trusted in the AFL. I think they've done an unbelievable job of pulling this together and listening to the important people in this whole process, which is the government and the health department. And so there's no reservations from my end, and all the conversations that I've had with players, there's no reservations with them as well. So I think everyone knows where society's at, the community, and we play an important role in our contribution to that. But at the same time, we want to actually, play and be a part of something to help the community.
Goody, it's Katie at 10.
Hey, Katie.
The shortened quarters, what did you make of that decision, and how does that change things from your point of view?
Yeah, look, I think it's a great initiative in terms of how the season's going to play out. There's no doubt at some stage you would think the season's going to be condensed and we're going to have to play a lot of games in a short amount of time. So how does that change how we structure up? Not much. We're going to spend some time on that as coaches this afternoon and see which parts of that we might be able to use to our advantage. But in saying that, we're picking a pretty fit and healthy team heading into round one in terms of the load that they've done. So we'll look at how we can use that time to our best advantage. But we've only just found out in recent times, so we'll spend a bit of time on that this Arvo.
Simon, what changes do you expect to make given those shorter quarters and also the fact that maybe your season might get postponed for 2 weeks? How have you had to factor that in?
Yeah, I think when you come down to what's being said a 17-game season and shorter quarters, every game is going to be really important. So your ability to get off to a really fast start, in this week especially, is going to be really important to get your season up and running. We can't really control what the rest of it looks like. So we've spent a lot of time with our players over the summer of how we stay in the moment, not only in games but in our environment. So we think we're well placed. We know there's going to be different things thrown at us from a competition perspective, and some of those have already been thrown at us for this week. So we're looking forward to those challenges that come our way, and we'll adapt and be agile to what's going to happen.
Simon, flying to Perth, how comfortable are you with that, and what provisions are you guys taking as part of that?
Yeah, look, we're really comfortable with that. We certainly know we're going to be travelling on Saturday. With all the regulations put in place, it's going to be a charter flight by Virgin. So they're committed to getting us over and back to Perth. The intricacies of that flight, we're still working through at the moment, but we know that it's going to come well within what the expectations of the community are. So we're really comfortable with that. We know that the hotels are doing very similar, and we're going to be isolated away. And as we said, it's only going to be a 24-hour stint, and we'll be back in Melbourne.
Hey Simon, just on that, Sam Edmund here from SEN. Just when you actually physically land on the tarmac, will you have to go through Perth Airport, or is it? Greg Swan was saying the other day he thought the boys might get picked up off the tarmac.
Yeah, Sam, I don't know. Would be the honest answer to that. What I do know is that if we can avoid going through the terminal at some point, I'm sure they'll make that available to us, and I'm sure that's where the AFL are heading with it. So the short answer is I don't know, but I assume that would be the way it would take place.
Simon, it can't be a bad thing having no crowd at Optus Stadium.
Yeah, I guess there's a silver lining in everything. They're a very parochial crowd and a very proud footy state. So to play West Coast over there, who we know are an unbelievable side, with no crowd, we think that evens up the playing field from our end. We're looking forward to getting over there and playing them in that sort of environment. It will be different. We actually had a practice run at Casey, on Saturday with obviously no crowd down here and no music, and just doing our whole match simulation in silence. So we try to use that experience as one that we'll take into this week.
You've had a pretty good record against West Coast over the last few years, Simon. Is there something about the side that matches up well against West Coast? Or, I mean, even in Perth, you've been running them quite close.
Yeah, look, we have had some really good games outside of the prelim final. The games have been really tight all the way to the end, and they've managed to work their way over us. So, we're certainly really clear on how they play. They're very well structured in terms of how they defend, and they're very strong around the footy. So, we know the quality of their side, but we also know some little things about how we might be able to put our strengths on show as well. And we've trained a method all summer of how we can improve as a team, and we feel like we're well placed to be able to go out there and show that.
Simon, do you expect to have Nathan Jones available for selection?
Yeah, Nathan Jones won't play. He's had a little Achilles in the last couple of weeks. He's progressing really well. So we'll just take that, obviously week by week. But the plan was to really pick a really fit, healthy team. He hasn't done a lot of training in the last couple of weeks, but we expect him to be available next week. So, he won't play this week.
Simon, any debutants?
Yeah, we have. That's really exciting. As I said to the players today, we get 22 guys that actually get a chance to run out there and do something they love. In some ways throughout the week was looking like it wasn't going to take place, but we've also got 2 debutants that makes that even specialer. In Cozzy Pickett, he'll debut, and also Toby Bedford. So, a real pleasing part for the club. They've had great summers, and looking forward to seeing them, put their skills on show forward to centre.
Simon, will you have any players that won't be available just because they're under quarantine, a bit like what Collingwood had with Scott Pendlebury this week?
No, we won't. We've done a really methodical approach at isolating our players in the last 10 days. Anyone that's been in that space straight away. Currently, we've got no one in that situation, which is pleasing for us as a footy club. But without question, we'll take all those measures in place, and if something bobs up, we'll put that player in isolation straight away.
Simon, what did you like about Cozzy Pickett over the pre-season? There seems to be some genuine excitement about what he can bring.
Yeah, look, he's just got genuine excitement for us. He's the small forward that brings a lot of aerial presence, but also ground level pressure, and he's got an enormous amount of talent, and we think that he's going to offer our forward line a different look. We've obviously got some really unique players down there, and guys that mediums like Jake Melksham and Bailey Fritsch that can win one-on-ones at a medium level, but that small forward that can really pressurise the opposition and have an inside 50 finish is something that we've really been looking for, and he's certainly provided that through us through the summer.
Bit of a twofold question, Simon. Firstly, Christian Salem, will he be fit? And secondly, how close did you get to picking Luke Jackson?
Yeah, Salo won't play either. He had a dose of glandular fever a couple of weeks ago. Once again, he's very close to playing. He just hasn't quite done what we wanted him to from a training perspective since our first Marsh game. So, he trained fully on Saturday, he trained again today, but we just feel round one's really important for a healthy, fit team, and Salo's preparation will be all around getting ready for next week.
And Luke Jackson?
Sorry, yeah, Luke Jackson, yeah. Look, Luke's really close. He's certainly in our squad. That's a decision we'll make, later on this afternoon around Luke, but he's really close to being in the mix, but he's probably not in at the moment, if that, because you asked me about debutants, that's pretty obvious, but he's still not out of the question yet.
Thanks, guys. Any more questions?
Maybe Simon, actually, sorry, any goals you're expecting from Maxi Gawn's pre-game rev-up?
Yeah, Maxi, I don't know what he's going to say. It could be anything. I know one thing, it'll be full of character, it'll have some humour to it. He'll certainly bring it back to treating the game for what it is, a game that we love and played in the right essence. So, he's a unique character, and it's going to be great to see him lead the team for the first time.